not quite ready to set up workflows in Dubsado yet. I totally get it. When I first started using Dubsado, I did find it totally daunting. And for a lot of online service providers I talk to, they do find it intimidating to start with. It's just the thought of handing over that control sometimes to automation, or to start using a system that you're not quite used to using. But that doesn't mean you can't start saving time right now. In this video, I'm walking you through 4 features in Dubsado that automate parts of your client journey without needing a single workflow. I'm Betsan, a certified Dubsado specialist and system strategist, and today I'm showing you how to get more out of Dubsado with 0 workflows. Let's dive in.
First thing we're going to talk about is smart fields and custom fields. So smart fields, when you write an email in Dubsado or a form, so here we've got client first name. So these are text placeholders that you can use in email and, as I mentioned, form templates that autofill once they've been added to a project. For example, like client first name, you could use their Instagram handles, you could use the address of a project, address of a location, the business names. You can find them down here. You can find them down here, and there's all the different smart fields that are in Dubsado. So we're going to talk about the ones that are associated with the client and the project. With smart fields, you need to make sure that they are linked within your lead capture or a questionnaire. Make sure that your smart fields are mapped in like your lead capture. For example, if you don't have the first name box on your lead capture form, if you do not have that mapped to the project, it won't autofill in the future. If the field mapping setting within the form is not set to client first name, it won't map to the project under client first name. So this is like a little automation that happens, and when the client fills in like the lead capture, for example, it will all then autofill within their project, within their entry in the address book. So how to map the fields. So make sure you click on when you're creating your form, make sure you click on the intake box. It's normally a short answer box. Make sure you click on that, and that you have the field mapping set to what you want it to be. So as you can see, this drop down here that has all the different things that you can map the smart fields to on the project and in the address book. So you just select whichever one you want. So obviously to do the first name, we'll click on the first name, just go down. You can even search, so we want client first name. Click that, and then that will map to the project. This is how it autofills the project data, so then you don't have to go in, add the client's name, add their business name, add their Instagram handle and everything else in the project. And then this will autofill in emails on their forms. Okay, so if you need some custom information from the client that isn't in the smart fields, so you could do custom fields if you've want some information from someone which isn't in the smart fields, but you want this to autofill elsewhere. If you go on to your settings, so you click onto the settings, and then we will go down to custom map field, which is under brand settings. And here you can create custom fields if it's for client mapped fields or project mapped fields. So you click on create, and then you can add whatever it is in and select the types. You can only have short answer or date for these. So then that will then autofill into wherever you want. So the next thing I'm going to show you is how you can automate your payments. There's 2 ways of doing this. You can have the reoccurring invoices and the payment plans. So there's 2 ways of doing it, and within this will also be how you can follow up your payments for if they haven't paid, or to let them know that the payment's coming out, and so on and so forth. Also, the best thing you can do as well is to make sure you've got autopay turned on. So once you've clicked on settings, click on payment and invoices, and make sure you have your payment processor connected. And you can go down and you can see here we've got default autopay settings. Click edit autopay and click required, and then click update settings, and that will make sure that autopay is turned on. Once they've made their first payment, it will then take out the next payments automatically. Clients are notified of this, and they can also opt out if they want, but I haven't actually had a client yet opt out because they like it to go out automatically because it's one less thing they don't need to worry about. So when you're creating your payment plans, you can add in here the reminders as well. So even if it's a pay in full, I would recommend doing a payment plan for pay in full. So you've got all your reminders on there. So you can then attach the pay in full to your recurring invoices, your monthly payments. You can add in an email that goes out a couple of days before the payment just to make sure the client knows, oh, your payment is upcoming. I also have then an email that goes out on the day to be like, oh, hey, your payment's coming out today, but don't worry, if you're on autopay, everything will go out automatically. And also then if autopay fails, an email goes out that says that autopay has failed and the steps they need to take in order to correct this. And if the payment is missed, if it's not on autopay, if payments are missed, they'll have emails that go out to say, hey, your payment is due, here's the invoice to pay, etc. So how you would do this for the one that I'm just suggesting in pay in full. So as you can see here, 2 days before the payment is due, an email goes out about the upcoming payment. 0 days before payment due today, 2 days before due date, past due, and 7 days after past due, just so then this all automatically goes out. So how you would add this on is you would click on the payment, you click add reminder, and then go in, add whatever email you want, and then select the email, and then you just click apply and it will add that all in there. I add this pay in full payment plan onto their recurring invoice, and then all this so Dubsado then does this for me every month. It will create the invoice and it will send out these payment reminders to let them know that payment's coming up, payment's due, so on and so forth. Okay, so if you have a pay in 3 installment payment plan and you want it to be monthly payments as pay in 3, this is what it could look like for you. So you've got the 1 month after payment plan is applied to invoice, 2 months after payment plan applied to invoice, and then you've also got your payment reminders going out. Again, this would all be automated. Once the payment plan is applied to your invoice with your proposal, then the client would make their first payment, and then automatically your second or third payment will be taken out. They'll get all the reminders about their payments coming out beforehand. So it's all automated. You don't have to do anything. They also get a payment receipt automatically. All of this, and it doesn't involve workflows, it's just all done off the payment plans. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about, and I have mentioned already, is reoccurring invoices. So if you wanted to add a payment plan on to your proposal, so for example I'm saying about this 3 installments, and you're not using workflows. If you were using workflows, I would say to add the payment plan to the workflow settings, not to the proposal. But if you're not using workflows yet, I would recommend using them. But if you're not using them yet, make sure that you add the payment plan to your proposal in the settings. So I'll show you here. If you wanted to add your pay in 3, you would add that here, and it would automatically add the payment plan to the invoice for you when the client completes a proposal and signs a contract and goes to pay their invoice. So now, recurring invoices. So what you need to do is you need to go on to the project itself. So here we're on a project. The client would have already paid their first invoice for the month. You're onboarding them. You need to go in and you need to create the recurring invoices. So we've clicked on the invoices on the project tab for the client. Click on recurring invoices. Click add. So you want it to be sent every month. So if you're onboarding a client and they've paid their first payment today, you will then need to go in and create it for the next payment. Then when their next payment is due, that's when you need to set it to. If there's no end in sight, just don't add an end. I don't tend to add an end a date when I'm working with clients who are on a retainer. I will go in and cancel it once they have given their 30 days notice. I normally use this ends on never, and then you can just go in and cancel it when you need to. Type in what you need here. So whatever the title of your service, you can add your packages on, and then go in, and this is where I'd add the pay in full for my retainer clients. This is what I add. So then Dubsado will create the invoice for me every month. It will send out all the reminders every month, and when the clients are on autopay, it also takes the payment too. I do mention in my emails, if you're on autopay, do not worry, the payment will come out automatically. It's just really mainly to keep the clients informed, and then once their payment is made, Dubsado also sends a automatic payment receipt, so they have that as well. And within the payment due email, I add in here, if you want to go and get any of your invoices or view your invoices, you can go on your client portal and view them, because all their invoices are stored within their client portal. So once you have done all this, you just click start reoccurrence, and that reoccurring invoice will run every month for that client. One of the most popular features within Dubsado, besides the workflows, that a lot of my clients love, and I love as well, is the proposal. So you have the proposal that you can send out one link for, which has the proposal, the contract and the invoice all in one link, and it's so simple for clients. They can select their package, they can sign their contract, and they can pay their first payment all in like 5 minutes. So it all autofills their smart fields that we spoke about from their project. It will auto-populate what package they choose up. It'll add that into their package selection onto the invoice, as well as onto the contract if you have the smart field added into your contract. So everything auto-populates, so you're not going back and forth trying to fill in everybody's details, and it's just simple for you and simple for the client. But you don't need workflows for this. This is all done within the proposal settings. So you have to make sure that the settings are right on your proposal. Otherwise, it's just a proposal with no contract and no invoice, which isn't what we want. So go onto your proposal, go on to the settings, make sure you have include contract on. You have the contract you want to select on. You've also got include invoice on, and yeah, so this is how it will look for the client. So here we have that proposal all set up. This is a proposal set up for the client. This is how they would view it. So they would go down, they would select their package, they would then scroll down, click next. Then when it'll take them through to the contract, as I show here, it says the total of their selections, everything is auto-filled here. You can just sign it. So they can just sign the contract, agree and submit, and then they can pay their invoice. So that is the 3-in-1 proposals. Follow-ups and reminders. We've already touched upon the payment reminders that are done within the payment plans. Again, not using workflows. You can also do reminders for your forms and your proposal within the settings. I prefer to do them within a workflow, but if you're not using workflows, you can still use them. So you would go on to the settings of the form which you wish to have the reminders on, but you'll need to have an expiration date on. When I send out proposals, I do have an expiration date on them, but when I'm sending out like an intake questionnaire, I don't want an expiration date. So that is why I prefer to use the workflows. But if we're not using workflows, this is how you can do it. So you can put a relative expiration date and an expiration date, and then under here, so as you can see, we've got the expiration date, reminder, click add. So this is before the expiration date, these go out. So that expiration date is 10 days. So we want a reminder to go out 3 days after they have it, so we'll put 7 days before. And this will be the automatic reminder, which is in your canned emails under the generic emails, which are at the top. So click add, and then we'll do one, say 2 days before, and then that will be your reminders. I'll show you where the email is now. So that is your reminders that are automatically going out for your forms and your proposal when they are not filled in. Again, as I said, I prefer to use the workflows for this, because you can have it to approve and you can add it and personalize it if you wish, or you don't have to have it set to approve. But yes, you can choose which email you have go out. So I just prefer that. But this is reminders. If you're not using the workflows, you can use the email reminders this way. So the email template for the reminders when attached to a form, this is on your canned email. Under your canned emails, it's under the generic templates here at the top, under edit templates, and it's this form reminder here. Okay, so make sure you edit that to be what you want it to say. Otherwise it'll just be this because I haven't edited them here. So yeah, this is what will be going out when the form's going to expire. If you're not using workflows, this is a way that you can have reminders go out for your proposals and forms without having to deep dive into workflows. So when you want reminders to go out for your calls, you need to go under templates, onto scheduler, and you need to click on the call that you want the reminders for to go out. Click on advanced, scroll down, and here you have under notifications, you can add the emails here that you want to go out. Also, your confirmation email, that will be here, linked here under confirmation. Make sure you select what you want to go out after they've booked their call. To add it, all you do is just add the time that you want it to go out, so 24 hours before, and then select the email you want it to be, and then click add, and then that will add the reminder for you. And again, that will go out all automatically to the client, so they'll have their confirmation email automatically, as well as the 24-hour reminder and the 1-hour reminder before the call with all the call details in it. So it'll have the link for the call, it'll have the time, the date, just then, so the client has everything and you don't have to go in and manually send everything over and remind the client. Everything is there and it's all super clear for the client.
So to quickly recap, if you want to save time within Dubsado without touching workflows, here are the 4 features that do the work for you. Smart fields and custom fields to personalise emails, forms and contracts automatically. Invoicing tools like payment plans, re-incurring invoices and autopay. 3-in-1 proposals to combine your service selection, contract and invoice in one link. Built-in follow-ups and reminders for forms, schedulers, proposals and payments. All of these things are simple to set up and can take hours of admin off your plate without the pressure of building a full workflow. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to try first. If you're ready to start small with your workflows, you can grab my free discovery call workflow template. I'll link it in the comments below. It's simple and done for you. And if you want to skip the DIY completely, you'll also find the link for my done for you Dubsado setup in the description below. Hit like if this was helpful, subscribe for more Dubsado tips, and I'll see you in the next one.